Daniel in the Lion's Den, a story of faith and divine protection. Ever feel like you're facing impossible odds? Like everyone is against you? The story of Daniel in the Lion's Den is a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, unwavering faith can lead to miraculous deliverance. Let's explore this incredible tale of courage, faith, and God's unwavering protection. Daniel was a remarkable man, known for his unwavering faith and exceptional integrity. He was a Jew, exiled to Babylon, but his wisdom and righteousness earned him a high position in the court of King Darius. He was a leader, respected by all, and deeply devoted to God. King Darius recognized Daniel's exceptional qualities and planned to set him over the entire kingdom. This elevation, however, sparked intense jealousy and resentment among other high-ranking officials. They saw Daniel's favor as a threat to their own power and influence. Driven by envy, these officials sought to find fault with Daniel, hoping to discredit him in the king's eyes. They scrutinized his actions, examined his records, and investigated every aspect of his life, but they found no corruption, no negligence, and no grounds for accusation. Frustrated by their inability to find any legitimate wrongdoing, they devised a cunning plan. They knew Daniel's unwavering devotion to God was his defining characteristic. They decided to exploit his faith to bring about his downfall. Their plan involved manipulating King Darius into issuing a royal decree. This decree would forbid anyone in the kingdom from praying to any god or man except the king himself for a period of 30 days. Violators would be thrown into the lion's den. The decree was carefully worded to appeal to Darius's vanity and sense of authority. The officials presented it as a way to honor the king and solidify his rule. They knew Darius would likely approve it without considering the potential consequences. The decree stipulated that anyone caught praying to a god or any other person besides the king during those 30 days would be punished severely. The punishment was to be thrown into the lion's den, a terrifying prospect designed to deter any disobedience. The officials were fully aware of Daniel's unwavering prayer habits. They knew he prayed to God 3 times a day, without fail. Their intention was to trap him, forcing him to choose between obeying the king's decree and remaining faithful to his God. Daniel, a man of deep spiritual understanding, was fully aware of the new decree. He knew the risks involved in continuing his prayer practice. He understood the potential consequences of defying the king's command. Despite knowing the danger, Daniel remained steadfast in his devotion to God. He refused to compromise his faith or abandon his prayer routine. His commitment to God was stronger than his fear of the lion's den. As he always did, Daniel went to his house and opened the windows in his upper room toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he knelt and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. His actions were deliberate and unwavering. Daniel's prayers were not just requests for help or deliverance. They were expressions of gratitude and praise to God. He thanked God for his blessings, his guidance, and his unwavering presence in his life. The watchful officials, eager to see their plan succeed, closely monitored Daniel's movements. They waited patiently for him to violate the decree. They knew it was only a matter of time before he resumed his prayer routine. As expected, they caught Daniel in the act of praying to God. They immediately rushed to King Darius, eager to report his transgression. They presented their evidence, confident that Darius would have no choice but to enforce the law. The officials accused Daniel of defying the king's decree and violating the law of the land. They emphasized the severity of his offense and demanded that he be punished according to the terms of the decree. They showed no mercy or compassion. King Darius was deeply distressed by this news. He valued Daniel's wisdom and integrity and considered him a trusted advisor. He desperately sought a way to save Daniel from the prescribed punishment. Darius spent the entire day trying to find a loophole in the law or a way to circumvent the decree. He explored every possible option, hoping to spare Daniel from the lion's den, but the officials insisted that the law was unchangeable. The law of the Medes and Persians was known for its inflexibility. Once a decree was issued and sealed, it could not be revoked or altered, even by the king himself. Darius was trapped by his own decree. Reluctantly, and with a heavy heart, Darius was forced to condemn Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. He knew he was sending an innocent man to his death. He could only hope that Daniel's God would somehow intervene. With profound sorrow, King Darius ordered Daniel to be cast into the lion's den. The den was a pit filled with hungry, ferocious lions. It was a place of certain death, a symbol of fear and despair. As Daniel was lowered into the den, Darius spoke to him, expressing his hope and faith. He said, "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." He prayed that Daniel's unwavering faith would be rewarded. After Daniel was thrown into the den, a large stone was placed over the opening and sealed with the king's signet ring and the rings of his nobles. This ensured that no one could tamper with the den or attempt to rescue Daniel. That night, King Darius could not sleep. He was consumed with worry and guilt over Daniel's fate. He refused to eat and spent the entire night fasting and praying for Daniel's safety. His heart was filled with anguish and hope. Darius's sleepless night was a testament to his respect and affection for Daniel. He deeply regretted being forced to condemn him. He desperately hoped that God would perform a miracle and save Daniel from the lions. At the first light of dawn, King Darius rushed to the lion's den. He approached the stone with trepidation, his heart pounding with anxiety. He desperately hoped to hear good news, but he feared the worst. With a trembling voice, Darius called out to Daniel, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" His voice was filled with both hope and despair. To Darius's astonishment and relief, Daniel answered. His voice was clear and strong. "My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me, because I was found blameless in his sight." Daniel explained that God had sent an angel to protect him from the lions. The angel had miraculously shut the lions' mouths, preventing them from harming him. Daniel's faith had been rewarded with divine intervention. Daniel's blamelessness was the reason for his protection. He had lived a life of integrity and righteousness, always seeking to please God. God had honored his faithfulness by delivering him from certain death. Overjoyed and amazed, King Darius ordered that Daniel be lifted out of the lion's den. When Daniel was brought up, no wound was found on him, because he had trusted in his God. He was completely unharmed. Upon witnessing this incredible miracle, King Darius ordered that the officials who had conspired against Daniel be brought before him. He was determined to see justice served and to punish those who had plotted Daniel's downfall. The officials, along with their wives and children, were thrown into the very same lion's den that Daniel had miraculously survived. They were subjected to the same fate they had intended for Daniel. Unlike Daniel, the officials did not receive divine protection. The lions immediately overpowered them and crushed all their bones. The lions devoured them completely, leaving no trace of their existence. The contrast between Daniel's safety and the officials' fate was stark and undeniable. It demonstrated the power of God to protect the righteous and to punish the wicked. It was a clear example of divine justice. The story of Daniel in the lion's den is a powerful testament to the importance of unwavering faith in God. Daniel's unwavering devotion, even in the face of death, is an inspiration to us all. It teaches us to trust in God, no matter the circumstances. This story highlights God's protection of those who are faithful to Him. God is always watching over His children, and He will never abandon them. He will provide them with strength, courage, and deliverance in times of trouble. Daniel's story demonstrates the ultimate triumph of integrity and righteousness. Even when faced with powerful enemies and seemingly insurmountable obstacles, Daniel remained true to his principles. His integrity ultimately led to his deliverance and the downfall of his enemies. We can find strength and trust in God during difficult times by remembering Daniel's example. When we face challenges and adversity, we can turn to God in prayer, knowing that He is always with us. We can trust that He will guide us, protect us, and deliver us from harm. The story of Daniel in the lion's den is a timeless reminder that faith, integrity, and trust in God can overcome any obstacle. It is a story of hope, courage, and divine intervention that continues to inspire and encourage us today. Daniel's story is a living testament to the power of faith. It reminds us that even when surrounded by lions of fear, doubt, or adversity, God's protection is real and available. Are you facing a lion's den in your life right now? A challenge that seems insurmountable? Take courage from Daniel's example. Commit to unwavering faith, consistent prayer, and a life of integrity. This week, I challenge you to do 3 things. First, identify one area in your life where you need to strengthen your faith. Second, dedicate time each day to pray specifically about that area. Third, share this inspiring story with someone who needs encouragement. Let's all strive to live with the same unwavering faith as Daniel, trusting in God's power to deliver us from any lion's den we may face.